All right, we would. I would like to know personally how the members of Trill League would have handled the stuff that was happening at the Capitol the other day. How would the folks at Trill League have handled all those people storming the Capitol?
They would have watched.
They would. All right, yeah. Sparrow, this ain't our battle. We gotta go.
On the real. Like, yo.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty much sit back with the popcorn, with the lawn chairs, Hey.
I was not expecting that answer. That's funny as hell.
Are you ready? Hey! Are you ready? Are you ready for the competition?
What it do, Jive Turkeys, and welcome back to The Controversy. I'm your host, Ian Elliott-Carter, and today, man, we have a legend in the indie comic universe. He's been doing things for years. He's done some artwork for Marvel Studios. He's worked on the TV shows Axe Cop and what was the other one? Major Lazer, which I can't wait to talk about those shows because I have a feeling they do a lot of drugs on those shows. And then, of course, we have what he's known for. What I've met him through, or what I've known him for, was the indie comic Trill League. And I'm excited to talk to this brother. Welcome to the show, Anthony Piper. Yeah, he's got that Prince glow around him right now. He's in the studio.
The purple glow.
For sure, man. I remember Charlemagne the God said he met Prince one time, and he said he floated away from him.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of interviews about that, man. Anybody who interacts with Prince, man, they just kind of get awestruck, you know what I'm saying, by him. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's like some type of, he had this aura around him, man. I love one of your characters is based off of Prince too. It's pretty, that's the one that's based off the Joker, right?
He's based on, Prince character is based on Captain Cold.
Okay.
I named him Purple Freeze.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the antagonist to Flash, who was Michael Jackson. So that's why I kind of set them up, because it used to be in the '80s, this whole thing about Prince versus Michael Jackson. Who was better? So I kind of set them up as being the hero and the villain.
I like that.
Yeah.
Prince ain't never gave you a cease and desist, did he?
No, I think Prince had passed away by the time I created Trill League. Well, I think it might. No. It was I think a year before.
Okay.
So, he never got a chance to see it,
Yeah, I heard he was heavy in those suit bags.
Yeah, man.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. And a lot of my audience, they're fans of Boondocks. They're fans of indie comics and stuff like that. So a lot of them knew who you were. As soon as I said Anthony Piper, they're like, oh yeah. So I got a couple questions we're going to get into. But first, I did a little bit of research on you. You're from Chicago, right?
Yes, sir.
How long were you
South
living
side.
there? South Side? Oh, I'm scared of you. Lock the doors, baby.
I moved out to California about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I lived in Chicago pretty much most of my life, man. I'm still pretty much a Chicagoan. I haven't really, fully acclimated myself to the California life. But yeah, most of my life, man.
Okay, I get you. Yeah, we was in Chicago. I went to Chicago last year for the first time, and man, that cold is disrespectful.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I just the funny thing is I hadn't been back home in a while, and especially in the wintertime, right? So I just went back home to visit my the fam, because my little sisters both had their kids, and so I wanted to go see them, man. And yeah, that cold was disrespectful, man. My body had just completely adjusted to California life, and I went out there and got sick. So.
Damn.
Family called me weak, It was like, it was like, this not even really that cold. It's like 30 degrees outside, and I ended up getting sick. So
that's wild, man. Well, how was it like growing up on the South Side, though?
You know what, man? It's a lot of misconceptions about Chicago.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah, man. In terms of, just, what's been put out there. I mean, yeah, there was some gang violence going on. But the area that I grew up in was real quiet, what I'm saying? Neighborhood was, well kept. It's a real sense of community out there. It's one of the most segregated cities in America, especially when it comes to, the three major metropolitans like LA and New York. You know what I'm saying? It's heavily segregated. So, I mostly grew up around black people. That's all I saw was black faces, and everybody was just, they kept to themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? you know, kept the streets clean and stuff like that. You know, you had, like I said, a little bit of, you know, stuff going on. It's not nearly as bad. You know, when I was growing up, it's not as bad as it is right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gotten worse over the years, but it was still, you know, kind of known for its gang violence. But for the most part, man, I love Chicago, bro. Like, yo.
Yeah. My mother-in-law, she basically, she's in fear sometimes whenever we go different places because we like to travel a lot. And whenever, you know, we talk about like Chicago, immediately you think gang violence, stuff like that. But I'm like, listen, that can happen anywhere. I'm from a small town in Panama City, Florida. Right now I'm in Tampa, but where I'm from, stuff used to pop off all the time. That's nowhere on the map. Nobody paying attention. But it's just, like you said, all about keep it to yourself. Not for the most part, nobody's really gonna mess with you, you know.
That's pretty much how I operate, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I never got involved in any of the gang activity and stuff like that. But you know, I know how to navigate around the city, man. And for the most part, if you keep to yourself and you know what I'm saying, you ain't flashing and you ain't acting like you're brand new, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time people gonna leave you alone. You know, you ain't got really nothing to worry about, man. So you know, and most of the time, anytime you a visitor, you're not going to those areas anyway, most likely, unless you're going, you know, and you know what I'm saying, unless you're going, you know, sightseeing, you know what I'm saying, in the west side and south side of Chicago, you know what I'm saying, deep in the residential areas, you know, you ain't got nothing to worry about, you know.
Oh, for sure. When we went there, my scary ass was straight in the suburbs, for real. I wasn't going nowhere near there. Oh, man. So when I was there as well, I felt a lot of the culture, like art-wise. We went to a couple museums. The music's amazing. Of course, some of the best musicians of all time in the hip-hop game especially have came from Chicago. What was the inspiration coming up like that for you when it came to your life in art?
Man, I think the most influential thing as far as, you know, growing up in Chicago was just the sense of blackness, I would say. Like I said, you know, like it's one of the most segregated cities.
Right.
And so all I seen was black people, you know what I'm saying? And everything is how we carried ourselves, you know what I'm saying? How we spoke to each other, you know, our demeanor, you know what I'm saying? Our conversations, everything. So growing up as a kid and watching cartoons, I always wanted to bring that sense of blackness, you know what I'm saying, to the fantasy world. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things I always wanted to do, was just have a, you know, a world populated by like genuinely black characters, you know what I'm saying, and all that we encompass, you know. We're like, you know, personality wise, it's a large swath of us, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? From your hood cats, you know what I'm saying, to your academics, you know what I'm saying? It's a large range of us in between and how we carry ourselves, and we still have a lot of commonalities, you know, despite where we, you know, come from. Like that was one of the things that I learned about TRILL League, especially because, you know, my world was still so small just because I had came from Chicago and I hadn't really traveled a lot. You know, I had been to a couple of cities, you know, here and there, but never really kind of like, you know, got, you know, invested into those cities, you know what I'm saying, to see what the people were like. Right. And, you know, along with the internet, but, you know, as well as TRILL League, I would, you know, encapsulate these things that were, you know, part of my culture and how I grew up. And I saw that other people, you know what I'm saying, you know, related to those things. You know what I'm saying, being from, you know, whether it be, you know, Cali or New York or South, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I grew up like that too. Or, you know what I'm saying, we had the Crown Royal bag, you know what I'm saying, and the top shelf holding all the keys and all that stuff like that, you know. So that's one of the beautiful
nostalgia.
Yeah, man. So that's one of the beautiful things about, you know, growing up, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, around your people like that.
Man, I envy that, man. You know, I'm a mixed person, so I was with the black family most of the time. My mom raised me; she's a black woman, but you know, I had my white family as well. I was very diverse I'm a military brat, so I was really diverse with my family and stuff like that. But when it come to coming around, being around your own people, man, it's a different feeling. Real talk.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's all different walks of life, man. You know, there's certain things it is that I missed out on. You know what I'm saying? Not growing up around, you know, in a diverse neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, which is something that I'm learning about now, you know what I'm saying, being out here in LA, you know, but it's a beautiful experience, you know what I'm saying, you get to engage in other people's cultures, you know what I'm saying, and see how they live, you know, so.
That's real good, man, and that's how, that's where progression starts for sure. What are some of the shows, movies, and television shows you watched as a kid?
All right, man, so mostly I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the thing that kind of really got me into cartoons. But then also the Disney afternoon lineup, which was like Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, you know what I'm saying, Gummy Bear, stuff like that. So then the Batman animated series, but then also things like In Living Color. Martin, you know what I'm saying? Like those were the things that really kind of shaped, you know what I'm saying, my comedy likings. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to love In Living Color all the time, and the skits and stuff like that, man. So, you know, I carried a lot of that with me. And, you know, you can see a lot of that throughout TRILL LEAGUE, in all honesty.
Absolutely.
You know, the way I do, you know, I do skits and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That's like a thing that Keenan Ivory Wayans used to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was in A Living Color or his films.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot of skits, so I carried a lot of that into TRILL LEAGUE.
Yeah, I could see that, like, one of those panels that you did, the, what was that reality show you did? Superhero Wives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wives, yeah.
That seemed like something from In Living Color, especially at the end with the invisible lady just getting her ass whooped. That sounded like something one of the Wayne brothers would have thought of.
Yeah, man.
I was very relatable. My mom used to, like, during the summertime, I used to be by myself and she'd be at work. So I would watch all those shows. I watched The Cosby Show and Living Color. What it was, WGN, the Wayne brothers, you know, everything that was on. They had a black renaissance in the 90s and late 2000s. It was just like back to back. And that was paving the way, of course, for Chappelle's Show and Boondocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I'm hoping for another black renaissance. I know we got like Blackish.
We in the process of it right now, bro, in all honesty. I was on Clubhouse talking about it, you know, the other day. And I'm just like, we in the midst of a black renaissance like crazy, man, because you see us in so many different, you know, arenas, whether it's, you know, you starting to see a large slate of black animation about to pop up on the scene. You starting to see a lot of black directors, you know what I'm saying, come up. A lot of black shows, man, you know, so yeah, it's happening. We in the midst of it right now, man. It's the early stages, but it's about to take place for real.
Oh, I definitely see it, man. Tyler Perry's opening those doors when it comes to his studio, man. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of his movies, but I gotta respect the man's hustle. I gotta respect, you know.
For sure, yeah. Same here, man. I like his plays more so. I only seen like one or two of his plays, and my mom put me on them, and I found those funny. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really watched this movie. I watched Acrimony because I thought that maybe, you know, like that was a drama, and it seemed like from the trailers it was gonna be good, and then it just turned into straight trash. But you know, I still respect the man's hustle, you know, and his work ethic.
Oh, for sure, man. You know, my next question to you, man. This was a question brought to me by one of my friends. So they heard that you didn't finish college. Is that a fact?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
cool.
Did not finish.
So you basically self-taught. So when did you know that you were an artist and you didn't really need the schooling?
All right, so man, so I have been doing art since I was a shorty, man. Like, yo, my family had always told me that, you know, that I was going to do something, because that's all I ever did was like, I'm always creatively doing something, whether it was drawing. And my grandmother used to get on my ass about drawing on the walls, you know, carving wood, or trying to make, you know, like a water gun out of like, you know, pop bottles and stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, man, it didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just creatively, I was trying some stuff. And, you know, I got into video, like I've always was consuming something, you know, artistic, whether it was cartoons, movies, video games, whatever. When I got into high school, I started to airbrush. And then I started to, like, you know, airbrush clothes and started to do fine art with airbrushing, man. I used to always compete in all sorts of art competitions. I competed 3 years in a row in NAACP academic competition. And won first place to compete in the nationals under the painting category. I had a painting hanging in the halls of Congress in my junior year. You know what I'm saying? So I was always doing things, you know, artistically, man, and just kind of, you know, showing a penchant, you know what I'm saying, for art. And so when I went to school for video game design, because that was the thing that I really wanted to do at first. But my senior year in high school, like, I had always been into music. And one of the things that caught me in, like, first off, let me say this. I grew up on house music. I grew up on Chicago house music. So I was like really heavy into like heavy bass, you know what I'm saying, repetitive music, you know what I'm saying, bass heavy. And so then in high school, Timbaland, Missy, Aaliyah, they started to make their way onto the scene. But the thing is I was listening to all this music, and I didn't realize they was being produced by the same person. Like all these songs, like I was listening like Total, who else was on Ludacris?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these artists were dropping these songs, and for some reason, these specific songs were like kind of like capturing me, and I didn't realize they were being produced by the same person, which was Timbaland.
Yeah, he's got that unique sound for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was capturing me. So then my senior year, my homeboy was using this program called Fruity Loops.
I've heard of it.
So he kind of introduced me to the whole music production scene. And so when I went into college, you know, like I went into college thinking I wanted to do video game design, but after a while, I wanted to start producing music. And so what ended up happening was, instead of going to class, you know, I was in my room making beats all the time. You know, got all the way to my senior year in college, man. I started working with this management company, and they were trying to get, you know, their artists signed, and I was producing beats for them. So it was like, you know, like this like dream opportunity for me, you know. So I ended up like skipping all my courses that last year, not going to any of my finals. And so at that school, at that time, I guess, if you got all F's in your courses, they kicked you out of school. So that's why I got kicked out of school, man, because I was making beats instead of going to class.
That's I did not know that about you, man. All that research I did, I didn't even find that. That's
yeah, man.
That's too fun. Hey, so speaking of music though, I saw that you did some what's it called, sketches, or you did some artwork for some mixtapes and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that was.
You were always in that hip hop world, though, I see. So my question to you is, who's your top 5? I know that's a very controversial question, but since you in that world, I gotta know.
So it is controversial, man, just because my top 5, I wouldn't even say is like lyrically, like I never, you know, I can't really debate, you know what I'm saying, lyrically, you know what I'm saying, who would be the top 5. My top 5 is like, you know, whose catalog I would say I listen to the most, you know?
Gotcha.
Right now, and it's gonna be probably one controversial name in there, man, but I stand by it. So I would definitely say Jay.
For sure.
I will put Kendrick in there.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Jake.
I have that argument all the time. He deserves it now.
Yeah. I'll put J. Cole.
J. Cole?
In there right now. All right, and then let me before I give my my controversial pick.
Uh-oh.
See, that 4th one gonna be hard, bro.
Usually it's the 5th.
Well, I know who the 5th is. He probably ain't even my 5th. Technically, he probably like number 2 in the list. But let me see. See, I don't want to get the standard. I don't fuck with Drake.
I saw.
Yo, you know what? Okay. I fuck with Drake, but I don't fuck with Drake. Like, I fuck with his early shit, man, but I think after a while he gave up.
Man, you know, he's a hit maker. You know, he's a very good entertainer. When it comes to his lyricists, though, we can't even talk about him.
Yeah. Man, I can't. You know what? That number 4 is gonna be. I got to think about that, but 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz would be your 5th. That's your controversial one?
2 Chainz my 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
He's entertaining, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree with it, but okay. That's your opinion.
I know a lot of cats don't agree with it, bro. A lot of cats be shitting on 2 Chainz, man, but I'm telling you, bro, usually every project that he puts out, man, I can listen to non-stop.
My girl's giving you a face right now.
Oh, word. I'm used to it. It's cool. A lot of people sleep on 2 Chainz, man. A lot of people sleep on 2 Chainz lyrical ability. Like, yeah, I think they listen to the surface, you know what I'm saying? And maybe on the surface level, you know what I'm saying, you kind of can't see his lyrical ability, man, but
I think I saw more of his lyrical ability when he was with Players Circle. You know, then after that, he kind of got poppy a little bit to me. But I mean, I've always respected him. I've always.
Yeah.
That one album he did with that track he did with Wayne and E40, $2 Bill. I love that song. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, man. Nah, 2 Chainz dope as shit, bro. Plus, he a funny motherfucker too, man. I like motherfuckers who can make fun of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's funny as shit when you listen to his shit, bro. Like motherfuckers be sleep on that shit. Like the shit that he be saying sometimes it might not come off lyrically, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, top tier, but I think he just be saying shit just to say, dumb shit sometimes.
Big booty, so I call her Big Booty.
Yeah, exactly.
Bars, son.
Exactly.
I respect it. So that's 4, right? We didn't get the
4. Yeah.
You'll come back to the 5th. You can come back to it. It's all good.
I'll come back to the 5th, man, because it's like, it's a couple of motherfuckers circling through my head. I'm like Rick Ross, man. I like Buster.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a couple of cats that's kind of like, I gotta look through my phone real quick. Hold on, let me see who.
It's all good,
who
man.
on repeat right now, man? Let me see.
You've already lost him with 2 Chainz, so it don't even matter.
Yo, hey, I be losing a lot of cats with 2 Chainz, man, but I love that motherfucker, man. I love his
I respect him.
project he put out, man.
I respect him. While you looking through that though, I gotta ask you a quick question though, man. What is your dream comic to do a storyline for, man? Because I've seen you done a couple the Marvel ones for like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think you did Spider-Man. Am I correct? Or was it just Guardians?
No, I did Guardians of the Galaxy. I did Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, that's what it was.
Well, no, I didn't write for Jean. I didn't write for Jean Grey. I just illustrated for Jean Grey.
Okay, that's right.
I wrote for X-Men. And I mostly just fucked with 2 characters. I fucked with Domino and I fucked with White Queen. Who else did I write for? Guardians. I can't remember right now. I think it's one more project I wrote for, but I can't remember.
I see Marvel Voices, Guardians, Year of Marvel, Guardians, Ghost Rider.
Yep.
That's
what it is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So who would be the dream character to put your Anthony Piper stamp on?
Dream character. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a dream character, but it is a character that I've always felt that you could do a lot more with him, and that's Cyclops. Okay. I'm not like yearning to write for Cyclops, but I think if Marvel was like, was to take off the shackles and be like, we don't have, any care in the world what it is you do with this character. I think you could delve really deep into the psychology of who Cyclops is, you know what I'm saying? Just because, a lot of people make fun of Cyclops, you know what I'm saying?
The movies, he wasn't really taken that serious, but in the TV show, he's like a Captain America.
Exactly. Even in the cartoon, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's kind of just like that super vanilla, you know what I'm saying, type of character. But I think that's why it is that you could write something so deep about him, because it's kind of like, psychologically, he's the leader of this team.
Sure.
He's been with, the X-Men since he was a young kid, and he was kind of groomed to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I always say about Cyclops is the fact that it's like, why does he always have these close relationships with telepaths? You know what I'm saying? His father figure is Professor X, you know what I'm saying? His first wife, you know what I'm saying, was Jean Grey. After Jean Grey died, who started fucking with Emma Frost. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, he's fucking with these telepaths. There's something in there. You know what I'm saying? You could create, you know what I'm saying, a path in there where it's kind of like, maybe he doesn't know how to emote, you know what I'm saying, because he's a leader. So, you know what I'm saying? So therefore he has to get with these people. I'm like, you could do so much character, development with that, as a character over time, because you haven't really, gone the limit with the character like him. You've done it with Wolverine.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But, Cyclops,
I didn't even think about that. He is attracted to the psychological characters. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that, but it's right there in front of us. I didn't even notice that. That's good. I like that answer. All right, so me and my girlfriend, so we watched, actually, before I even reached out to you, we watched Major Lazer and Axe Cop for the first time. What was it, like 2 months ago? So we were going through at nighttime, we just go through stuff and just watch stuff when we're bored. So I remember watching Axe Cop, the first episode, and it was like halfway through, I was like, what the fuck kind of drugs are these guys on? So I wanted to ask you, the people in Adult Swim Studios, are they, what kind of creative process they go through? Because they are out there in a good way, not disrespecting anybody that works on these projects, especially you, of course, but like, how do they come up with the most random shit I've ever seen in my life? That's just all of Adult Swim in general.
Yeah, so Major Lazer wasn't on Adult Swim. But it was created by one of the guys. I forget, and his name is slipping my head right now. But he ran Adult Swim,
Right.
and then he went over to Fox and he pitched them ADHD.
Okay.
And that's what Major Lazer and all that stuff was on. So it's kind of like, the stepchild of Adult Swim. To be honest with you, bro, that was my first gig in animation. Yes, I would assume, and I think it's safe to assume that they do drugs over there. I got introduced to that coming out here, to Cali and seeing that, drugs play a large part in the creative process. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I drove in something. My mind never goes to that limit. So, I was just a character designer and I came on board for both of those series mid-season. So I really wasn't there at the, the inception part. Conception part of either of those series, you know what I'm saying? So I just came in, I did a gig, kept my head low, and just and just collected my check.
I've just always wanted to ask somebody like in the staff of shows like that, like how that process go, because I feel like I'm a creative person, not even of course not the best, but like I just like when I'm seeing stories like how the hell do you even come up with stuff like that? It's interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not my vibe. To be honest,
I can tell.
That's not my vibe of animation or storytelling. I've never been attracted to anything of that sort. It was just my first animation gig. There was a lot of brothers working on at that studio at the time. And they had caught wind of the TRILL League, and they were kind of like, "Yo, man, you ever thought about working in animation?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." So that was my first gig.
Well, I'm glad you did it because we want to see some more animation, and we'll talk about that definitely toward the end. But we're going to play my favorite game that we play with all of our guests. It's called One's Gotta Go. It's when I'm going to give you a couple examples of a category, and one of them's got to go forever. Never existed, nothing. You ready, bro?
Okay.
All right. One's got to go. Boondocks, South Park, or Simpsons? Simpsons. Oh, the one that started it all off. Come on, brother. I gotta agree with you though. It is probably the least funniest one, and they probably should have been gone about 10 years ago. But you gotta respect them.
Yeah,
All right.
I would definitely respect them.
Got one more for you. One's gotta go. King of the Hill, Futurama, or Family Guy? Oh,
You said King of the Hill, Futurama, or Family Guy?
that's it. Yep.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I probably would have went with Family Guy in that one. Family Guy is.
I liked early Family Guy.
Me too. That's what I was about.
After a while, it got redundant.
I mean, I guess you could say a little bit about King of the Hill, but I don't know. Something about that country ass family just is funny as hell. I don't know.
Yeah. I was kind of reluctant to say it just because I work with a lot of the staff that used to work on that show.
Oh, okay.
The studio that I work out now, the director, one of the producers, they work over there. So hopefully they don't see this.
Okay. Hopefully they do. I need my numbers up. All right. No offense, big homie. All right, let's get down to it. This is the part where a lot of people want to talk about, of course, your baby right here. TRILL League. All right, I would like to know personally how the members of TRILL League would have handled the stuff that was happening at the Capitol the other day. How would the folks at TRILL League have handled all those people storming the Capitol?
They would have watched.
They would. All right, yeah. Sparrow, this ain't our battle. We gotta go.
On the real. Like, yo.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty much sit back with the popcorn, with the lawn chairs, Hey.
I was not expecting that answer. That's funny as hell. You know what? I can see that shit too. See, yeah, just bringing up how they treated us with the Black Lives Matter protests, and then
exactly.
I can see them doing that.
This they fight, bro. This is their battle, man. It's everything has been leading up to this, and they sat back and just let everything happen until it happened to them, and then all of a sudden it's a problem.
No, that's all facts.
And then they found out some of their own people was, you know, letting them in. They supposedly three congressmen supposedly helped them out, you know.
Are we really surprised about that, though? Are we really surprised?
Not at all.
That's a damn shame how it's going. But that was a funny ass answer. Just watch. Oh man. All right. So about your baby, right quick, man. We gotta talk about this. Which character have you not flipped that you want to flip?
DC character that I haven't flipped yet.
Right.
What DC character have I not really flipped yet? I mean, there's a couple of that I have in a mix that I just haven't introduced yet. And I have some Marvel characters that I'm flipping, in the process of flipping too. Who I got Rocket and Icon, who I've sort of flipped, but I haven't introduced them yet in the storyline.
Who was that?
Rocket and Icon. They're from Milestone.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
you know, DC Comics bought Milestone. Who else is there that I haven't flipped? Hawkman.
Okay.
We got a concept for him that we haven't introduced yet. Who else is there? I'm trying to think what character. Static. I haven't flipped him, but I'm questioning how I want to flip him. You know what I'm saying? Just because the whole thing with Milestone was, it was more of I was flipping them based more so on the politics of the comic industry, as opposed to just their characters, because, you know, Milestone was black-owned, you know, full of black characters. And DC had purchased them, so it's kind of like, you know, they kind of like bought, you know, this catalog of black characters. Gotcha. So in the TRILL LEAGUE universe, I made them white, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of like, you know, talk about this inclusion of, you know what I'm saying, another race, into bringing another race, you know what I'm saying, into the team, the family,
right?
You know? So, but I haven't figured out how I want to flip Static, you know.
Excited for that one.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a lot of people upset at that one. It's gonna be a lot of people mad about that one. But yeah, I can't really think off the bat right now. I kind of want to flip Cheetah after seeing Wonder Woman 84.
Oh God, don't get me started on that bullshit.
Even though I already flipped her, I flipped it to Sharkita, but I kind of want to flip her again now after seeing Kristen Wiig's, you know, interpretation of Cheetah. So I might restart that one over. I'm not sure.
Hey, quick question though, just real quick, because I had debated with my homeboy earlier. I felt that Suicide Squad, the first one, was better than Wonder Woman 84. What is your opinion? Which one do you think is a better movie?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely say Suicide Squad. I mean, they both.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
They both trash. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to pick one, I would definitely say Suicide Squad, because Suicide Squad actually started off dope.
Oh, for sure. I think the characters were okay. It was just a story that was whack.
Yeah, it was a storyline. Yeah. DC has a issue with their villains. I think it's their villains. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to create, you know, good challenges, struggles, you know what I'm saying, for their heroes to go against. You know, you get these dope introductions, but then it's like when it's time to fight the bad guy, you know what I'm saying, the reason why you fighting the bad guy, you know what I'm saying, how to battle, you know what I'm saying, making a character that draws us in as a villain, you know what I'm saying, like DC just doesn't have that, you know?
Yeah, they got to take their time, man. That's the issue. They just wanted to rush and play catch up, but you know, if they get some good writers, I think they could do it, man, you know. One of my favorite characters that we've not seen yet is just, you know, one of your concepts was Race Card. I thought that was hilarious. Like, so he flips a coin and he decides like what he's going to play, like how a white man would respond to that or how a black man would respond to that.
Yeah.
That's
I plan on. I want to do something with him for the next issue. I'm not sure. I hadn't written them in.
Mm-hmm. I love the idea of that though. That's funny.
Yeah.
First looked at that because I'm mixed. I thought is that a shot at the mixed breeds? You know, is that a shot? But then I realized, you know, he was playing a whole different race. He wasn't a mixed person. He had the Joker effect or the actual Two-Face effect. That's very creative though. I can't wait to see how he responds to certain situations.
Yeah, man, I love the I always say that the black main character was the character that really brought TRILL LEAGUE together, because he was one of the last characters that I actually created, you know?
Okay.
And once I had created him, he created this this infusion of, political and social identity that I can, bring into TRILL LEAGUE, and then, basing it off of Batman's villains, and flipping them. It's like, yo, you can do so much, and talk about a lot of the issues within, the Black community through this character, man. And so that was just one of the things that it is that I wanted to talk about, was just, this whole concept of what Blackness is. And, that's what the character really was, because, he was this well-spoken Black guy,
right,
who, just didn't feel that, he was Black, just because, sometimes Black people make fun of you because of the way you talk, how you carry yourself,
My whole life.
Yeah, exactly. I have my best friend, he's African, but his family is, they had money, so they grew up, mostly around white people, and, and just because of how he carries himself, he just, sometimes had issues connecting with other Black people, in terms of how, they related to him because he spoke a certain way, or, he had certain interests. So it's just like, just because of, where you grew up, does that, not make you Black? So, I just wanted to talk about stuff like that, man.
I love that concept. We need more of that talk. And speaking of Black empowerment, so I heard you, I read that you made Swole Man based off of you. So did you do that so you could have sex with Wanderisha?
No.
So is that wrong?
Who said that, man?
I read it on some forum. So he's not based off of you.
No, he's not. You know what, bro? I get that all the time. Everybody be like, yo, man, Swole Man is based off of you, bro. And it's just because, I'm big as shit. So motherfuckers be like, yo, are you Swole Man? And I'm like, no, bro. Like, I just take a lot of, at the time I was taking all these concepts and then putting it into these characters. And I was kind of like, yo, I was lifting weights at the time, so I was hanging around a lot of bodybuilders, getting into, that whole lifestyle and shit like that. And so when I came up with Swole Man, I was like, yo, what would be a good what would be a good flip on Superman? You know what I'm saying? You take the Superman, the idea of who Superman is, this really strong, powerful character, and you kind of figure out like, okay, how do you reflect that in the Black community? You know what I'm saying? What would be the personality, of a Superman in the Black community? And it's a small motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A pretty boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who just, he got all the power in the world, but all he worried about is fucking, vagina. That's it. So it's like, yo, man, but a lot of cats, like my best friend get on my ass about that, but no, Swole Man was not based off.
Okay, so you guys heard it first right here. So this Swole Man is not based off of Anthony. But it is funny, just that scene where what's her name? Rakisha?
Wandisha,
yeah. That scene where he was doing her and she came out the whole room, and that was funny. That's why I was like, oh, maybe he, making himself look good. He's fucking bitches over here and stuff like that.
Nah, that's not me, bro. But I get it all. Hey, believe me, you're not in unfamiliar territory. All my homies fucking say that shit, man. Oh yeah, Swole Man based off you, bro. No.
That's too funny, man. So what the people want to know, man? So we got episode 1. You're working on episode 2 right now as we speak, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Can you give a little detail about that? I don't know what you want to say. That's all you.
It's gonna be dope. That's all I can really say.
We know it.
I had the script done. The script was actually done. Well, most of it was done last year, but I'm rewriting a good portion of it. Just because my writing has gotten a lot better since I had, worked on a television series.
Right.
And I kind of got put to that test as far as, my comedic writing. So I definitely want to tune up the jokes for this next one. But it's going to be a lot more cinematic than the first issue. I think the first issue came off more like a television episode. The second one's going to come off more like, a little bit more like a movie.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of film references, a lot of homages to Black film. Art's going to be improved, Might do some redesigns too. I'm trying to figure that out just because I do plan on redesigning the characters for the show. And I kind of want some sort of continuity, between the two. But also just to make it interesting, just because of the fact that, artistically, I've been working on the series for 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like sometimes you just want to interject something new into it. I don't necessarily know if it'll make sense, just from issue 1 to issue 2. I'll figure out a way for it to make sense, but just for the sake of, you know, me as an artist and, you know, constantly wanting to improve and, you know, do something different, you know, I kind of want to do some redesigns.
Oh, for sure, man. The last 4 years, you've gotten a lot of material to work with. Shoot, the last 13 days, you've got a lot of material to work with.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's never ending, bro.
For sure, man. I can't wait to see it, for sure. So what was it like teaming up with Quippy and 50 Cent before, you know, the certain things that happened after? Did he reach out to you, or did somebody show him your work?
So, yeah, basically how it worked is I work with a management company called 3 Arts. They're a production and management company, and they work with a lot of, you know, top tier talent, you know, and they produce a lot of shows like Issa Rae. I think they work with Tina Fey. They produce Silicon Valley. They produce Insecure. I think back in the day they produced Martin. Dope. So, you know, they work with a lot of talent, man. And there was a brother there who he got a hold of the Complex interview that I did a couple of years ago. And he saw that and, you know, checked out my material, man. He kind of felt, he was like, yo, you know, he's like, hey, you ever thought about writing for TV? And at the time, I never even contemplated writing, you know, for television or doing anything, you know, in terms of film like that. You know, I always wanted to do cartoons, but I never thought, you know, that would be my entry point, was writing. Right. And so me and him, we started working with each other, and he was trying to kind of get me geared up to write for television. And at first I wasn't able to grasp it.
Whole different world.
Kind of like, yeah, it's a different writing style, man. You know what I'm saying? Like learning how to, like, you know, break up scenes and, you know, get into scenes, get out of scenes and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was basically I told him that, I was like, yo, I felt I couldn't do it. So I was like, yo, I don't want to waste your time, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is for me, you know. And he was like, all right, that's cool. You know, go ahead, do your thing, man. But I think at that point, because it was somebody who told me that they believed in me, you know what I'm saying, that kind of like stuck in my head. So I think without even really kind of realizing, I was kind of started paying attention more to television and kind of how to write jokes for TV, and, you know, learning how to, you know, enter a scene, exit a scene, you know what I'm saying, with a joke, all that stuff. So when I wrote that first book, that was actually me kind of like flexing, you know what I'm saying, the television writing skills that I kind of adapted. So anyway, after I had, you know, I came up with that book, and you know, and I was just like, man, I was like, yo, this, you know, I had to, you know, applaud my own self, just because I was like, yo, this fucking product is dope. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this shit that I created, like I was reading, I was like, yo, this is probably the coldest shit that I've ever done in my life. And that was due to him, because I was like, yo, I don't think I would have written this book the way I wrote it, you know, if it wasn't for him telling me that. So I sent it to him, you know what I'm saying, gave him a note. And at that point, I think he was like, I think you're ready to write for TV. So he connected me with some of his people. One of his people happened to be, you know, 50's manager for the G Unit Film Production. You know what I'm saying? He ended up giving it to 50. 50 was like, yo, I think this shit's funny, you know? Yeah, man. So, you know, he got on board. He was like, yo, I'm willing to put my name, you know, willing to get behind it, you know? And so we started working with each other. So we took it out to Quibi. They liked the concept. We had started to get, you know, but the only thing about it in Hollywood, it's really tough for them to really give, you know, a new writer a chance like that. You know, they don't necessarily know, you know, even if you can write, which they don't necessarily know, because I haven't written anything for TV before. You know, and comics don't necessarily translate over to TV as we seen, you know what I'm saying, with a certain somebody who works for DC. Yeah, you know. But you know, they were like, yo, man, it was like, you know, we like the concept, but we need to partner you with somebody. So that's when we started, you know, looking out to other cats, and they linked me up with Jamil Salim. And that's my co-writer now. And he's worked on a couple of animated series. He worked on South Park. He worked on Bob's Burger.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you know, we started working with each other, man. We came up with something real dope, you know. And we had wrote 10 episodes for them. We turned them in. We had worked on them a little bit long just because we were trying to find what the series was supposed to be. Just because, Quibi was it was a short form.
Yeah, I was about to ask, was it like 5-minute episodes or?
Well, we had 10-minute episodes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we maxed out at the 10 minutes, so we came up with 10-minute episodes, man. They loved it. Like, because at Quibi they supposedly had like different departments. So they had like the news department. So they had the execs that would, just look over the news programming. They had the comedy department. They had the drama department. You know what I'm saying? So they had these different, genres set up, and I was just working with the comedy department. But they said that they ended up letting, it was so funny. They was like, yo, we need to let the whole staff read this. So they were telling me that the whole staff was like reading it and just fucking like cracking up. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, yo, this is funny as shit. So by the time we got it done in around August, we turned the scripts in. And that was just when, the news started to break that Quibi was starting to have, like some financial issues, starting to get subscribers and stuff like that. And, I'm just speculating, but I think part of their evaluation was looking to see if Trill League, because I think Trill League was going to be the best program on that platform. As a matter of fact,
that was the only reason I considered getting it. That was the only reason I considered getting it.
Yeah, a lot of cats, man. A lot of cats were telling me that they ended up, signing up for it. And then of course with 50 backing in it, him being, the marketing genius that he is.
Right.
It was definitely gonna get him some looks, but we needed time to produce it. It was gonna take at least a minimum of a year to produce it, and they just didn't have enough money to keep that app afloat. In that time period, so they decided to pull the plug right as we turned in the scripts,
Right.
So.
Man, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sure, that's the new app, of course, the pandemic probably had a lot to do with it. I'm so sorry that happened, man. But do you guys have any hope for another studio picking it up, or Roku, I believe they were talking about selling to?
Well, yeah, so the whole deal with Roku and Quibi is that they purchased their catalog of stuff that was already done. Quibi never owned.
Okay.
That was part of the appeal of Quibi, is that they never owned your content.
Oh, I bet they regret that one.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Just because of the fact that they weren't going to be long-term, you know what I'm saying? That would have been a whole bunch of legal BS for them. But so they never, ended up, producing it or anything of that sort. So that deal didn't affect us.
Okay.
But we do plan on taking it out. Actually, I'm preparing right now to get, the pitch deck ready and going out to, pitch it to the networks and stuff like that. I want to do some redesign, some new work for it. We have to reimagine the series because we're going to take some of the elements that we created for the Quibi series and interject those into the longer format, but we kind of got to change some things up just because the Quibi thing was a little bit more pop culture centric. Really kind of, hitting on, current events and stuff like that. Which I don't necessarily know will work for a long form just because the production schedule is going to take a lot longer. So, certain things that we had, like we had a Beyonce episode where, we kind of talked about her fan base, and her fan base was like attacking the heroes because they was talking shit about Beyonce.
Oh, the Beehive.
So it's like, shit. Yeah, man. So it's stuff like that we're not going to be able to do. That would be fun, you know what I'm saying? But, we don't want to take the chance where it's like, we in production for, 2 years,
right,
and whatever topic it is that we're trying to hit on, it becomes irrelevant. It's not like South Park where we can knock out an episode in a week,
Yeah,
with
those
the
guys
level
are
of work that it.
beasts.
Yeah. They stay in the studio from day to night, sometimes they spend the night there, man. But, the art style too, what I'm saying, allows them to get away with that,
Triangles and circles.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely want Trill League to be high quality, man. So, it's definitely going to take a while. But, yeah, we're in the process of getting everything done, man. We're going to take it back out. 50 still, behind it right now.
That's good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad 50's still involved. I'm glad these are going to be more than 10-minute episodes, too. So is it going to be like maybe 30 minutes or 25 to 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's what we aiming for, half an hour.
Oh, okay.
Even though those 10, I'm a little upset though. I'm not gonna lie, because I think a lot of the material that we came up for those 10-minute episodes, because we were forced creatively, we were kind of forced to condense what it is that we had in mind. So we had to just go with what was funny. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, we didn't have a lot of time to kind of like, you know, journey into story of B story or anything like that. Like, everything was just joke after joke after joke. So yeah, exactly. So I think it made it super strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of upset that we're not going to be able to use those scripts, just because I think they would have had, you know, people just, you know, dying laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot. As people can only imagine, man. I can just by reading everything I've that you've put out, I can only imagine how funny it was. But like I said, I am looking forward to the real shit. Like, I'm glad you guys are still going. I'm glad 50's still involved, and I'm excited for the future of Trill League. Seriously, I got about 4 questions from some fans. So ready to knock these out right quick?
For sure.
Cool. So this one comes from YouTube. Why isn't there more original Black comics with original stories? If they, sorry, I'm reading this from afar. I should have probably got this further. If they are, how do we find? Okay, so he's saying, so why isn't there more original Black comics out there? If there are, how do we find them and put them in front of our culture? And also, sorry, there's a little bit more, and not mean the Black version of a superhero, kind of like, you know, the Black Spider-Man or the Black Hercules or whatever.
Oh, I think he might be talking about Trill League, you know what I'm saying? Because that was one of the things that it is that I got criticized for, was a lot of people were like, yo, you know, like, Trill League is just kind of like, you know, these parody characters. And so people were like, you know,
well, it's a parody.
Why, you know, yeah. Why do we not have more original characters? But all I can say is there is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come from the art community, the Black art community, the independent Black art community. And there's a lot of creatives out there creating stuff. It's just a question of, you know, I think the reason that Truly kind of, you know, rose to the top and, you know what I'm saying, got a lot of attention was because of the fact that it was a parody and the fact that, you know, it was comedy. You don't tend to see a lot of, you know, hilarious comics, you know, written out there. Most people, you know, they tend to write, you know, superhero stories, dramas, action, stuff like that. So, you know, that was one of the reasons that it kind of, you know, climbed a little bit more than some of the other IPs and ideas that are out there. But there's a lot of concepts out there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of good comics. They might not necessarily be on shelves. Mm-hmm. You might have to go digging for them, you know what I'm saying? Check out Kickstarter, you know what I'm saying? Ask around, but it's definitely a lot of independent Black creators out there, you know?
I think pretty much what you're saying is, like, they're there, we just got to support it, you know?
Pretty much, yeah. You know, anything that, you know, especially, you know, we, as Black creatives, Black artists, man, we don't tend to get a lot of the corporate funding and corporate support, you know what I'm saying, to put our projects out there, you know what I'm saying, to kind of make them mainstream. So a lot of this stuff is underground, you know, and really, you know, deep underground.
That's how I feel about.
So you got to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's how I feel about the film industry. You know, of course, everything that you see right now is Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, everything that's poster that you see. But me and my girlfriend, we love like the indie movies. We love all the stuff. We like to go deep into like Netflix and Hulu and stuff, see the stuff that nobody's advertising. But you get some great gems out there, but you got to look for it. You got to dig for it, you know? Yeah. Just because it's not out there like Ronald McDonald don't mean it ain't there.
Right?
For sure. All right, here's the next question right here. How do Black creators who share the same vision link and build how do more Black creators who share the same vision link and build today? Like, how do we get together? How do they get together and try to build? I guess he's trying to sorry. I'm so sorry. This is so far. I'm gonna repeat the question one more time. How do more Black creators who share the same vision link and build in today's time? Like, where did the graphic novel creators meet and artists share stories and artwork to maybe one day start a comic? So, like, where can other creators like you get together and build?
Man, social media is the best thing, you know, the best tool right now. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, if you're a writer, you know what I'm saying, and you're looking for an artist, man, you jump on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, jump on IG, jump on LinkedIn, Facebook, you know what I'm saying. That's where my career started off, was on Facebook. But it's plenty of opportunities to meet other creators. You just kind of got to get yourself entrenched into those networks, you know what I'm saying, and follow, those people. And then, naturally you'll start to branch out to other people, you know what I'm saying, become entrenched in those networks. But it's one of those things, man, where creatively I tell people like, yo, if you want to do it, if you truly want to do it, you'll find a way to get it done, There's nothing stopping you, you know what I'm saying? The social media has completely appended, any sort of gateway into making your way into the art industry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you ever sorry.
You got access to posting your work, you got access to all the creatives in the world, so
For sure. I follow a lot of the amazing like strip artists and stuff like that on Instagram, just as a fan, because I'm not in that world, but I'm just a fan. But it's made it pretty easy for me to look and find what I'm looking for, or stuff that I didn't even know I was looking for. But at the same time, do you think that could be a problem? Like my feed just flooded, and I don't have time to check everybody out. Do you think sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes, and it could be hard for an artist or a creator to get themselves out there when there's such a lot of them out there? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that is one of the dark sides of, social media, is that there is a lot of content. There are a lot of people who are able to put their work out there. But the one thing that's going to, overcome that is consistency. You know what I'm saying? People respect consistency. People respect, a good concept. And, even with TRILL LEAGUE, it could have just been, one sketch that I did, and put it out there. People are like, yo, it was a good concept. But if I wasn't, constantly building on it, it wouldn't have gotten as big as it did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where when people see you consistently doing something, man, they're going to associate you with that thing. And, if it's a good idea, they're going to support it, So it's just one of those things where you just got to put in the work, consistently, and just, constantly build at whatever it is you're trying to build,
For sure. Consistency is the key. That's why we creep it up on 4,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there.
Word?
Yeah, hopefully we'll get there, My mom's going to be finally proud of me. So, all right, we got two more questions right here. This one's from Instagram. My question for Ant is, what is the most difficult part of your job right now, specifically when it comes to writing comics? And and of course the pandemic, is it making anything easier or harder for you?
It's easy in the sense that I don't have as many excuses to get out the crib as I did before.
I figured.
Yes, that's one plus, but the other side of it is that I'm so busy, though. Like, yo, it's like so much shit has stacked onto my plate, man. Especially right now, I'm working on so many projects just because a lot of people are, moving over to creating comics, or just want to do comic projects or film, animation projects and stuff like that, man. So I'm like, I don't ever recall having this much shit on my plate at one time that I got to get done. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to TRILL LEAGUE, but I also have other projects that I'm working on too as well. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're independent or, professional, it's just a lot right now. So, but as far as the comic writing thing, man, I think the only thing that the most difficult part of writing is, for me, is finding the time to write. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I usually like to start whatever, I like to start off the day doing whatever it is I'm going to do the majority of that day. You know what I'm saying? So right. For me, it's difficult for me. Like, my day job is doing character design and layouts for animated production right now. And so it's difficult for me sometimes to get off work and switch to that writing mindset, knowing that I only got like 2-3 hours, you know what I'm saying, to really, journey into my head and start figuring shit out, because sometimes it might take me 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get warmed up, you know what I'm saying? And then I also need that time to just kind of like, just silence, you know what I'm saying, and just think. And it's difficult when my day job requires me, to be in one mindset drawing, and then I got to switch over, you know. So that's probably the most difficult part right now.
For sure, man. You know, you stress, but you're a very important person when you got all this stuff piled up. just don't forget to have fun, big homie. That's all I ask, you know.
For sure, man. I'm having fun. I'm having fun creating, man.
That's good, man. I love Trill League, but I love your health more, man. So we watch you a long time to be creating like the gods you are.
For sure.
Here's
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's the last question from Instagram. My question, if you could be with one person in the industry that you haven't encountered or met, who would it be?
If I could be with one person,
if you could,
I haven't encountered or met, who would it be? Man, I'm trying. That's a difficult one. I'll probably say Tarantino.
Ooh, that's the king of dialogue right there.
Yeah, man.
Tarantino. Yeah, I'm sure that'd be a very good conversation. Like Django Unchained and Pulp Fiction, two of my favorite movies of all time, man.
My word.
Yeah, he's an amazing director.
Yeah, I love his work, man. Kill Bill, for me, is probably his top film. But I love them all. You know what I'm saying? Even Hateful Eight. You know.
I love Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
My least favorite probably would be one of those the one with the car. I forgot what that was even about.
Oh, Death Proof.
Death Proof, yeah, that was probably my least favorite one, but he's usually a hit, you know. Of course, Inglourious Basterds is a great one too. You know, he's
for sure, yeah,
one of my favorite directors. I'm glad we got that in common. Seriously, like you got good taste in film, then apparently.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I think that's eventually the next move down the line is I want to eventually get into film. So
feature films too, like not even just cartoons. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see a different side. Are you gonna still do like comedy, or you want to do the dramatic thing when it comes to film?
Man, I don't know. I guess I would kind of want to do more so like Tarantino. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a nice little mix. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna create my own little style where it's action, but it's got a good storyline and got some elements of comedy in there and a dialogue, man.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, just create something unique, man.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, Big Ant, man, I appreciate you coming through on the show, man.
Oh, for sure, bro. Appreciate you having me, man.
Much love, peace, and chicken grease to you, big homie.
Help keep your brother out the streets. Subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease.